since I'm soft and all.
And I'm wearing pink. I'm calling you soft, huh?
Does Dak Prescott look smart after week 1, betting on himself?
Looks genius. Not even smart. Don't underestimate how...
Marcella's funny today, y'all. He's funny today, America.
Woo! Dak Prescott, who coming into this season was already trending $22 million plus more than the guy who's made the most money in the last 4 years. That's Kirk Cousins. He's already $22 million higher in projections than the guy who's made the most money the last 4 years, Kirk Cousins. I had to repeat that. But because I'm the full screen king, I got to bring it to you, Acho, and bring it to you heavy. Right now, I'm going to list the comps in our neighborhood since Dak Prescott is the 9th highest paid quarterback this year. And these are the top 8. Please leave this up here as I read off the comps. Because when you're a free agent, there's one thing you have to do is go out there and get your numbers. Another thing you have to do is keep up with the Joneses in terms of where you want your numbers to go. The last thing you need to do, and people get caught up in this all the time, is win games. You know why? Because there's always great players leaving bad teams that get paid. So Dak Prescott, let's talk about his comps. Ooh, 3 of the guys on this list lost games, including Dak Prescott, but 3. Let's talk about Kirk Cousins, Deshaun Watson, and Carson Wentz. So, hey, I'm not the only one losing out here. Dak had a better quarterback rating than Deshaun Watson, Jared Goff, and Carson Wentz. They're on this list. More yards than Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, and Kirk Cousins. Fewer interceptions than Jared Goff, Deshaun Watson, Kirk Cousins, and Carson Wentz. And more touchdown passes than the same guy even went on the field and played in against at SoFi Stadium. Jared Goff had a better game than him. Better completion percentage than Carson Wentz and Deshaun Watson. And then there's also guys like Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Cam Newton, et cetera, where he had a better game than those guys despite winning or losing. Take the full screen away and let me talk to my young man.
This was nonsense.
Because
that did nothing for me. Please take that away.
You know what? And this is so funny. I keep telling you, and I hate to bring it on air all the time. I seen your Fox contract, man. I know how you play with the numbers. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. If I am Todd France, if I'm an agent, this is exactly what I bring into a meeting room with a Stephen Jones, a Jerry Jones, who are already sitting there saying, Dak's our quarterback for now and the future. Dak, because he has comps, because he continues to play right where he needs to be in that high-priced neighborhood, is doing himself a great service and smart betting on himself.
Marcellus.
That was good. That was tasty.
Marcellus, I know you went to Columbia. You don't have to remind me every day with a full screen of all these numbers and all these digits. I promise you I won't forget, Marcellus. I won't forget.
You said bet.
Now, look.
Money.
Dak Prescott don't look smart, and there's not necessarily enough English vernacular to say what he looks. So in Nigeria, my people might say, he looks like an idiot, okay? Like an idiot, but an idiot. He looks like a foolish goat, Marcellus.
I know what that is.
Dak don't look smart. But here's why. Because Dak is not only competing against these other guys on this list, which you did such a masterful job contorting the numbers to make it look like you outplayed him. But think about this. Dak wasn't the better quarterback on the field against the Rams. Wow. He wasn't. Because Jared Goff not only had more yards and not only got the victory, he just looked more competent with less weapons. Because let's be honest, he had less weapons. Okay, but the other problem is next week, who Dak Prescott got to play against? Matt Ryan. Oh, the same Matt Ryan threw for 450 yards against the Seahawks.
He ain't on the list,
But Pete, the next week, Marcellus, Dak Prescott has to play against Russell Wilson. The same Russ that threw for 4 touchdowns, 31 for 35 completions out of attempts. So the problem is, Dak Prescott every week, Marcellus, is going to be getting compared to not only every other quarterback in the league, but Dak's going to be getting compared to every other quarterback, the other quarterback that's on the same field as him. And the problem is, more often than not, Dak Prescott's going to come up short. Here's what we saw on Sunday. Primetime television.
It was nice.
What we saw was that, man, Dak Prescott is who we thought he was. An average to above average quarterback. Marcellus, that season that you're clinging on to for dear life, that 13-3 season you're clinging on to, it's such a distant memory. That's 2016. Colin Kaepernick was in the league then, to give that some reference. So you're clinging on to life that no longer exists. Dak Prescott made a foolish, idiotic decision by betting on himself, especially if the Cowboys continue to take L's like they just took.
You didn't listen to me fully when I said the win-loss column really doesn't come into play when it comes to your own negotiations. Ask Kirk Cousins about that when he was on a non-playoff team and still went out there and signed the highest.
To another team.
But he got his money.
To another team.
He got his money with another team. But guess what he did also? He rewrote the script. And it's sad to see you, a millennial, still reading the old book with an 8-track cassette sitting there instead of keeping up with the times. Kirk Cousins showed you the way. And Dak is trending better than that same Kirk Cousins. But since you want to do the comparison, see, my thing is, I'm pliable, like you said great coaches are. I can go wherever you want to go and still get you, big dog. You want to compare him to week-to-week quarterbacks, right? Let's compare him when he's going to get compared in that same negotiating room with the quarterbacks available. One of the driving forces of any economy that drives price up is scarcity. Okay. I remember when I first heard that word, I told my teacher, I was trying to correct her, you know me thinking I'm smarty art. I was like, scarcity? She was like, scarcity, brother. All right, chill out, Compton. So I was like, okay, scarcity. But it's a driver because it shows you what's available at that time. And if not a lot's available, the price goes up. Let's talk about who's going to be available when Dak Prescott potentially is a free agent in 2021. Tom Brady with his 97-year-old butt, Drew Brees with his 96-year-old butt, Ben Roethlisberger with his 95-year-old butt, Marcus Mariota, who ain't even on the field, Baker Mayfield if the Browns don't pick up his 5th-year option. Scarcity. So even though you can give me week to week, you may not look as good, but you still got the comps. You're still in the high-price neighborhood. And then when we need you, we can't let you go because you're going to get your
You're saying this because we might be able to find a lining to agree on.
No.
You're saying that Dak Prescott looks smart for other teams. For the Cowboys, he don't look smart.
He looks smart for the Cowboys, too, because the Cowboys know we can't let him go. He's going to get his money. And if we
the Cowboys don't care.
Why they don't care? If
the
they
Cowboys
don't care, why
if he don't get some money other places.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
I'm waiting.
You got two. You're negotiating against the field, and you're negotiating against what you have to give them in terms of what you want and the franchise tag. There are 3 things at play, 3-pronged approach. Bruh, I was the highest paid player, and I wasn't the best player. I know how to play this game. This is the game you play. Hey, who else is going to be DN when I come out? Oh, you really? At that time, it was Trace Armstrong, who I thought was better than me, but he was older. So they were like, we're going to go with Wiley. Dak Prescott was like, y'all going to go take Baker Mayfield over me? So Dak's going to get his money in the open market. That's settled.
I can give you that. That's the only thing I will give you.
No, give me this, too. The floor. The floor is $31 million this year and $37 next year.
And I'm telling you, Dak will not get that bread if the Cowboys go 7-9 or 8-8.
He just got 31 after going 8-8, but now he ain't gonna get 37 after going 8-8 again.
You think the Cowboys are going to tag Dak again for mediocrity?
They just did it. They just did it.
Marcellus, they replaced the coach, and they drafted a first-round pick at receiver. So they said, you know what, Dak? Here's what we gonna do. Pushing all our chips in.
Yeah.
We all in for this season. Yeah. Let's see what's good. Yeah. I'm telling you, the Cowboys are not going to, again, tag Dak and reward mediocrity with an additional bump for mediocrity. Not when you hire a Super Bowl head coach and another first-round pick at receiver.
Same amount of playoff wins as Russell Wilson since 2017. The second highest win percentage in the league since he's been in the league.
Stop contorting these stats, Marcellus.
They're not contorting. They're just not fitting your argument. I love you so much. Can I finish this stat?
Please.
Can I get this one in? Acho. Be real.
I'm real.
We talking to your future son that you ain't gonna have because you ain't got no girl. But let's talk about this. Right now, Dak Prescott is on pace to have a 2-year, $68 million deal with 2 franchise tags.
In your theory, yes.
They offered him a 5-year deal at $35 million a year.
Which he should have took.
But they only offered $100 million guaranteed. Dak in 2 years is going to get 68 guaranteed. You know what happens if you take the deal that they offered? You will surpass that in year 3 and be sitting there with the Cowboys 2 more years on the low, and they're going to have the franchise tag for 2 more years. That's 4 years on the low. That's why he's going to make twice as much as Patrick Mahomes in the next 3 years. And it's already on the books.
The pivotal problem with your argument, Marcellus, is that you live in this utopian society.
With a calculator.
You live in this, and for those that don't know, the utopian society is a perfect world. Marcellus, you live in this perfect world where the sun shines and rainbows and the air quality is nice outside.
And pink suits.
The problem is we don't live in that society because the air quality ain't no good outside. We still wearing masks and the world ain't perfect. So what that means is there's a chance that this doesn't play out for Dak Prescott how you dream it up to be. See, you would make a great agent because you're a great liar. You'd make a great agent because you would look at Dak and say, look, Dak, don't take this deal. You're going to ball. Everything's going to go great. You're going to throw for 15,000 yards in one season. You're going to set all types of NFL records. And you're going to sign a $1 billion contract. And the fact of the matter is, Marcellus, well, sure, maybe Dak will stay healthy, and hopefully Dak does well. There's also the chance that this doesn't happen. If Dak plays like he did on Sunday for the duration of the season, he's not seeing this money you keep promising him.
The only thing I got from that, which was real, is if Dak Prescott gets injured, all bets are off. But you got to bet on yourself. And